has introduced. My name is Mustapha Behra. I went to Japan under the teacher training program. It lasted for 1.5 years. First, when I went to Japan, I studied at KOSAKA University. I studied just Japanese language for 6 months. And after that, starting from April last year, I moved to KOSAKA University of Education, where I worked on my research. It was about information and communication technology in teaching. So I studied there for 1 year. Then that's it. Please, have you any questions? Feel free to ask. Thank you. Konnichiwa.
Should be more like this. Konnichiwa.
So,
was learning Japanese easy for you, and how did you deal with the real situations when speaking Japanese with people, with native people?
Well, first, before I go to Japan, I was kind of worried, and not just the language, but the culture as a whole, and also, you know, Japan is a developed country. It's a country of underground trains, etc. So I was worried about that. But once I got into Japan, I didn't have. Of course, there were a lot of language problems, but Japanese people are so kind. They don't speak English, like Moroccans, we do speak English very well, but still, once they know what they want, they just lead you to the place where you are going, and after that, they say bye. So, the linguistic problem is a real problem, not in simple situations, but when you want to express yourself to others and when you want to express your ideas to others. But for daily life matters, it's not a problem at all.
Any questions?
well, I know it's not easy to compare between those two nations, it is Japan and Morocco. I want to know what are the things, since you have studied in a university and maybe you get in touch with teachers and maybe you've attended. I see some videos. You've attended some classes. What are the things that you really appreciated? I know, or maybe overwhelmed by when you were there. I'm talking about their educational system. What are the things that we can easily, without hard efforts, financially, or we can implement and we can make use of?
I think the most important thing, the idea that I came with, we have to change our minds about how to work, about doing our duty. I am Moroccan, and I know that our ideas is we get a salary from the government, so we work to get that salary, and we make it between quotes, like we say, we make our salary halal or something. But the idea for a Japanese person and a Japanese teacher in special, they work for the community more than they work for themselves. So Japan comes first, then me comes number 2. So this is one. Let me tell you that the linguistic abilities of our teachers in Morocco is much more advanced than the linguistic abilities of most Japanese teachers. But still, they do a lot of hard work. Let me just tell an example. They go to school at 9 o'clock and they come back at 7. If they have some, of course, weekly they have something like 2 or 3 meetings. So when there are no meetings, office work. So when there is no office work, they finish at 4, but when there is office work, they finish at 7. And still, teachers work very hard and they pay attention to every single student. So we do it unintentionally. Sometimes we ignore our students, but still, for Japanese teachers, they don't do that. So they work very hard on every single student because, as I said, community comes first and myself comes second. Then, of course, Japanese technology developed. So This is no doubt. So all the classrooms are equipped with technological tools such as data shows, computers, TV, whatever.
It's already interesting.
And even the wages. The wages.
Yes,
Compare between our wages and their wages.
And also for classes, they don't have large
You
classes.
have a comparison?
They don't have large classes.
They do.
They do.
They do. But what is
Very quiet, but they are very
please just let me finish this idea about the students. The students are very polite, but still teachers are complaining. They are saying that our values are they are not like before. So the same that we say in Morocco, this is also that when I went to the classes, when I observed some of the classes, I found that the student, no comparison with the Moroccan students at all. Just imagine before the teacher comes into class, everybody is seated. So when the teacher comes into the class, every single class has got a representative. So the representative has got to stand up. Then everybody follows. He says something or she says something, then everybody stands up like praising or greeting of the teacher. And once the class finishes, it's the same. The representative stands up, then everybody stands up again. The teacher takes his bag or a bag, he leaves the classroom, and the students follow in a very smooth and
Thank you, Mustapha. I'd just like to ask you about your research. What is the general conclusion of your research, which is important for us, using ICT in teaching?
Well, I came to the conclusion that there is kind of duality. So in Morocco, we don't have a lot of ICT tools, and we don't have a lot of technological tools. But still, Moroccan teachers are more willing to adapt technology into their classrooms. While in Japan, they have everything we dream of, but still there are a lot of teachers who are kind of resistant to using technology. They say, when I talk to my advisor about it, they argue that what matters is the conclusion. So if the conclusion with the board is effective, so why should I adopt technology? And they are kind of
Learning takes place. You say once. Product.
Yeah, and in a way they are kind of they lack self-confidence. So for them, if you say professional, so somebody who doesn't make mistakes at all. So if I do an activity in front of the student and I fail, so it's a disaster. So you have to make everything neat and everything well planned. If it's not perfect, then I should not do it. That's why a lot of teachers are afraid of using technology and they stick to the board and other visual aids.
I like that shift from Morocco, from a different country to another different one. After going there, you've noticed the differences between the two countries. But my question is, what made you feel confident to be Moroccan?
Proud of myself here.
Yes, being proud of you.
As I said, I took with me worries. But once I attended classes and I saw that I'm kind of distinguished, I'm not proud about it, but still, because most of Japanese, they don't speak English very well. And once you have that self-confidence that you speak English very well, that you can express yourself very well, that you know a lot about, not a lot, but you know something about linguistic theories and applied linguistics, etc. So you feel more proud. And my advisor was kind of surprised. And he started asking me questions such as, before he signed, asked me questions, I made some complaints. For example, like this workshop, we do it in Japanese, so we don't do it in English. Advisor with teacher training, so most of the meetings are in Japanese. So I made this complaint, and he started asking me, do you do it in Morocco? I said, yeah. So most of all our meetings, workshops and meetings are conducted only in English. So I was surprised. So I think we should be proud, all of us Moroccan teachers, that we are doing a very good job. And let me just tell you, there are a lot of, the majority of Japanese teachers don't speak English. Yeah, they are English teachers, but they don't speak English. So they teach using the grammar translated method. So, yeah, it's historical in a way, but still, I didn't like it.
Thank you so much.